Hello everybody and welcome to another horror news update where I talk to all you people about the latest horror movies and TV series and all kinds of stuff all related to horror just to satisfy you. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started with another episode. We have more news on the cast of Scary Movie 5. I'm not for sure who this person is, but apparently she's a part of Mad TV. Her name is Erica Ash. So Erica Ash has now been added to the cast of Scary Movie 5. If you don't know, Scary Movie 5 is taking the plot of Black Swan and kind of twisting it and turning it, and that's what the plot of Scary Movie 5 is pretty much going to be about. Black Swan, they're going to spoof things like Child's Play, Final Destination, Paranormal Activity, 127 Hours, Rise of Planet of the Apes, and a few other things I believe, but those are the main things they're spoofing. So if you like Scary Movie 5, there's some good old news for that. Other news, the Leprechaun Origins film has now hired a scribe. I believe his name, let's see, Harris Wilkinson has been hired to write the script. So if you know who he is, look forward to that. And if you like Leprechaun, look forward to a Leprechaun Origins probably sometime in 2013. Other news, this is actually pretty exciting for me because I made a review video for Nightbreed a few months back. Well, now it actually might be coming true. Nightbreed actually may have its full cable cut edition coming to Blu Ray and DVD very soon. Says according to Clive Barker, he says he has given the okay to show the studio to show the cut around the world and raise money to prepare the cut for release on Blu Ray. This could not and would not have happened without your voices. We have all been heard. The Morgan Creek team may have my thanks and my respect. Very seldom does anyone in the movie business pay attention as they have, understanding perhaps that the message of the movie, as I shot it, is that it dramatizes a different ending to the age-old story of how a war between humankind and something other draws to a close. So apparently this cable cut has a different ending. Of course, if you watch my Nightbreed review, you already know this, and a lot of you who are fans of Nightbreed probably already know this. Anyways, I believe the Nightbreed is a full 155 or 159 minutes, something like that. Anyways, has almost an hour of extra footage, probably tons of special features. He's given the okay, so hopefully very soon we'll be seeing Nightbreed on Blu Ray and DVD. So I can't wait till that comes out, since he's given the okay to the studio. That's great news. I guess that petition that I put under the link actually did some help. Thank you all to people at Occupy Media on Facebook. Anyways, let's move on to other news. Another Trauma classic is being added to the Blu-ray marketplace. Mother's Day, if you don't know, Mother's Day has just recently been remade, and the remake is awesome. It's a very loose remake, shall I say, but the remake is very good. I haven't seen the original, but it's now coming to Blu-ray, and I believe it's coming to Blu-ray on September 4th of this year. So if you like the original Mother's Day that was made in 1980, go ahead and pick yourself up the Mother's Day original film on Blu-ray September 4th. Other news, Prometheus seems to be in the talks now a lot of days. Some people don't know whether to consider Prometheus a prequel. They don't know if it's a separate story, and I don't really care nonetheless. You can watch my review on Prometheus for my own opinion on the film. As it stands, Prometheus is kind of like a side story, kind of a prequel, not really. Really confusing if you look up stuff on it, because really Scott doesn't call it a prequel, but when you see the way the events play out, it almost feels like one. Nonetheless, we have news on a Prometheus sequel title and the story of the Prometheus sequel. Supposedly, according to this article, the Prometheus sequel is going to be called Paradise, and the reason for that is because they actually were going to call the Prometheus film Paradise until things got changed around. But now the sequel to Prometheus is going to be called Paradise. And the basic plot of the film is right here. I'm just going to read this to you guys. I always had it in there that the godlike creature that you will actually see is not so nice and is certainly not God. I love to explore where Dr. Shaw goes next and what does she do when she gets there. Because if it is paradise, paradise cannot be what you think it is. Paradise has a connotation of being extremely sinister and ominous. So apparently we're going to see Dr. Shaw, Numi Replace's character, go to the engineer's home planet, the so-called Paradise, and find out that it may not be what she was hoping it was. So anyways, that's pretty much the basic story for the Prometheus sequel called Paradise. Now, we don't know yet if Ridley Scott's going to return to direct or produce or write the script or anything like that. We don't know anything like that. But, according to this article, it says that 20th Century Fox might pressure him to postpone his other projects in order to make a sequel. So he might I know he's in the works of making another Blade Runner film and that kind of thing, but they might make him postpone those other things in order to rush a Prometheus sequel. So anyways, if you guys like Prometheus, look forward to a sequel, but he definitely will not do it before his next film titled The Counselor. So look forward to Prometheus sequel, probably 2014-ish, just a guess. Other news for all you Woman in Black fans, it is going to have a sequel. We now have an official plot synopsis for it, so I'm going to go ahead and see what this says here. A continuation of the story. This article says we are not working on a sequel, but a continuation of Woman in Black, which would pretty much make it a sequel. So that sentence doesn't make any sense. Nonetheless, it'll have obviously, completely different, they say, a different story, a different cast. Here's the synopsis. Seized by the government and converted into a military mental hospital during World War II, the sudden arrival of disturbed soldiers to Eel Marsh House has awoken its darkest inhabitants. Eve, a beautiful young nurse, is sent to the house to care for the patients, but soon realizes she must save them from more than their own demons. Despite Eve's efforts to stop her, one by one they fall victim to the Woman in Black. Now, I wasn't too fond of the first Woman in Black. I would check out the sequel if there was probably nothing else on TV, nothing else in the theaters. That's the only way I'd watch it, because I wasn't too fond of the first one. Why would I like the second one? But you never know, right? Now, there have been a little bit of rumors going on the internet about Daniel Radcliffe supposedly playing a small part in the sequel. Now, the sequel, just is going to be titled Woman in Black, Angels of Death. That's the title. And according to our recent sources, Daniel Radcliffe might have a small part in the sequel. Don't know who he will be playing yet, but according to Horbit, he might have a small part in the sequel. So look forward to that coming out probably sometime 2013, 2014-ish. Now, apparently Will Smith has recently been talking about a sequel to the film I Am Legend. Now, recently they've been thinking about doing an I Am Legend, a sequel, but it will not include Will Smith's character, of course. Why would it, if you know what happens at the end? Anyways, it will not include his character. Apparently, producers are working on it. This is what Smith told the BBC News. He says, "I'm not actually working on it. If it's great, I'm into it." It says, when asked if there was a good chance he'd consider, Smith confesses, probably not. So he probably won't be in the sequel, but there definitely will be a I Am Legend sequel. Producers are working on it, but it will not include Will Smith. So, not really big news, but there's not a lot to talk about this week, so I'm trying to gather up everything I can. Anyways, here's some other cool news. 2 more people have been added to the Carrie cast remake. So, let's see who these 2 people are. Portia Doubleday will take on the part of Chris Hargensen. Let's see. And Judy Greer from Arrested Development and Archer will be the sympathetic gym teacher known as Miss Desjardins. So, Judy Greer and Portia Doubleday have now been added to the Carrie cast remake. Now, this next news is pretty big. Stephen King's It is in the process of being remade. This time, into a two-part film. I guess the first part would sum up kind of the kid's story, and then I guess the second part would be the second part. Now, this is actually pretty big news because I think that the It remake could actually benefit from a lot of things. I do love the original, It film. That was a great, little mini kind of TV series thing. That was very cool. But I do think the remake could be a good potential remake. This is actually one of the remakes that I'm kind of excited for. That and Evil Dead. I'm not really looking forward to the Carrie one because of the whole found footage thing. I watched the original Carrie and I do love it, so I really think the remake is unnecessary. But the It film could benefit from it, in my opinion. So that's really cool. Two films this time, so we're gonna get to see two of them. There's no I believe the Warner Brothers are the ones doing it, and they have let's see here. Carrie Funaga is going to direct and co-write the new film adaptation of it. So if you know who she is, apparently she did a film called Jane Eyre and Sin Nombre. If you know what those films are, apparently that's what the person has done on their playlist in the recent years. And I think it's really cool. We don't know when it's going to hit theaters, anything like that. We don't know cast, or we don't know if Tim Curry will return as it, or anything like that, or Pennywise the Clown. All we know is who's going to direct the film, Carrie Funaga. I can barely even pronounce her name. Anyways, it is in the works of having two films. Look forward to that in the near future. Other news, we have more cast on the set of Machete Kills. A guy by the name of James Olmos has been cast onto Machete Kills. He joins the cast of Sofia Vergara, Mel Gibson, Michelle Rodriguez, Jessica Alba, Amber Heard, Demian Bursher, Zoe Sanada, and of course, Danny Trejo. So, I can't wait till Machete Kills comes out. This is one of the films in 2013 of next year that I cannot wait. Currently, the film is being shot in Austin, Texas, so stay tuned for more info on Machete Kills. I'll make sure to give you guys all the latest news on that movie. As always, check the description below for all of these links. Now, I've never seen this film, but District 9 has is going to have a sequel, and it's going to be called Elysium, and it now has a plot synopsis. So, apparently, in the year 2159, two classes of people exist. The very wealthy, and the rest live on the overpopulated, ruined Earth. Secretary Rhodes, a hardline government official, will stop at nothing to enforce the anti-immigration laws and preserve the luxurious lifestyle of the citizens of Elysium. That doesn't stop the people of Earth from trying to get in by any means they can. When unlucky Max is backed into a corner, he agrees to take on a daunting mission that, if successful, would not only save his life, but could bring equality to these polarized worlds. That's the plot of District 9's follow-up called Elysium. It's going to co-star William Fichtner and Diego Luna, and it's set to hit theaters March 1st of 2013. So, if you like District 9, be looking forward to a sequel in March of 2013. Haven't seen the original District 9, so I can't really comment. Now, recently I've been having kind of a Resident Evil marathon. I haven't seen the recent Afterlife one, but I have watched the first Resident Evil. I watched Apocalypse, and then I watched Extinction, and soon I'll watch Afterlife, to prepare for the new Resident Evil film coming out in September of this year. And if you don't know, the new Resident Evil Retribution trailer is now up, so go look on that link there below in the description. The new trailer does look pretty cool. I kind of like the Resident Evil films. A lot of people don't like them, but me, myself, personally, I think they're very fun. Myself, I think they're pretty good films. They're fun. They're bloody. Just a kind of a really cool concept going on. Just cool films. Nonetheless, check out that trailer below in the description. Other news today, Marlon Wayans is making a new spoof of horror films titled Smartass. Now, the synopsis of the film is going to spoof films such as Paranormal Activity. I believe it's going to spoof a lot of found footage movies, according to this article. Horror films such as Paranormal Activity, like I said, and films such as The Devil Inside. It's going to spoof both those films. I love The Devil Inside, but it'll be kind of cool to see what how they're going to spoof it. Anyways, when newlyweds Malcolm, played by Wayne, and Keisha, played by Essence Atkins, move into their dream house, they quickly find that they're not alone. But it's not the house that's haunted, but his wife that is possessed with spirits, or as Malcolm calls it, relationship baggage. Malcolm hires everyone from a priest to a modern-day Ghostbusters to rid her of the demon, determined not to let the evil spirit ruin his marriage or his sex life, for that matter. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not really looking forward to the Scary Movie 5, spoof film because, Ashley Tisdale's going to be in it. Now they got a mad TV star there. They're spoofing Black Swan, which technically, that's the whole plot of the movie, and technically Black Swan's not even really a horror film. But I'm not going to judge it too much until I see it because, you really can't judge something fully until you see it, right? Well, I am kind of looking forward to this new Marlon Wayans film called Smartass because he's doing Paranormal Activity, The Devil Inside, Wayans did, Scary Movies 1 and 2, so I am looking forward to this one. So, I'm ready to see it. Apparently, Rick Alvarez, who wrote the script for Little Man and White Chicks, will be co-writing the script with Wayans and is also producing the film. Nick Swartzen, David Koechner, and Cedric the Entertainer will co-star in this film, so if you like what the sounds of this, might be something you want to look more into. Let me see what else we have here on the news. There are 4 new stills for the Lords of Salem movie, but Rob Zombie's new film coming out later on this year. Don't know what month, but 2012 according to the teaser trailer. There's 4 new stills up, so I'll make sure to put that link in the description. There's a few horror films that I have my eye on. This isn't really news, but I have my eye on a few horror films. One called The Apparition, and this film looks pretty decent. I'll put a trailer in the description. Another film called The Possession. The Possession is produced by Sam Raimi, so might be something you want to look into. Both films look pretty decent, so those are 2 horror films that I'm looking forward to here in the next few months that I have my eye on. I'll let you guys know when I see them if they're any good and if it's something you should check out. A film that comes out this Friday on the 22nd, a film that I've had my eye on for a while actually, is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, kind of a horror action kind of thing, involving vampires. I can't wait to see this one. I'll definitely be seeing it opening night this Friday. I've known about it for a while. I haven't talked about it on the news much, but I have known about it for a while. And Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter just looks like a cool, just fun, guilty pleasure. Just looks like a great movie. I can't wait to see it. I know it's going to be a phenomenal film. Anyways, that looks about it on the horror news update. Not a lot going on. Mainly things to be excited for is the It remake. And I guess if you're into Prometheus, those are the big things, the Prometheus sequel and the It remake. Everything else is just kind of smaller and not too huge. As always, make sure to look in the link below or the description below for all the links. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday with another horror news update.